being drunk in charge of a vehicle. The mother of 5 was found slumped and drunk in the back seat of her famous pink Range Rover by police in the early hours of October 10. She denied she was in control of the car, which was parked off-road in Shooters Hill, southeast London, insisting that a mystery friend had been driving but had pulled over after an argument and run away with the key. However, Judge Nigel Dean found she was not a plausible or credible witness. He found her guilty of being in charge of the vehicle while over the legal limit but ordered that a charge of drink driving be dropped because prosecutors offered insufficient evidence. Katie put on a defiant display outside the court. Katie will get her license back in May along with costs and a victim surcharge. Her total bill for the offence came to £2,425. She was banned from driving for 3 months back in January for having no insurance or license, meaning she now won't be allowed back on the roads until May. After the guilty verdict, Price said loudly, "I don't care anyway," and repeated this claim to reporters as she waited for the judge to come back and sentence her. Speaking outside the court, she defiantly told how she plans to go shopping for a brand new car the minute she gets her license back. "I was never drink driving. There was no evidence at all of me drink driving. I rest my case on that," she said. "I was convicted because I had the keys. I was given a chance of having 10 points in my license or to be disqualified for 3 months. Her car appeared to have been damaged. She's planning to get a new car anyway," she added. "It adds on to my disqualification that I'm already on, which means I get my driving license back on the 24th of May. Which means I can go car shopping. Let's ban the pink car." Magistrates at Bexley heard how her boyfriend Chris Boyson was sat in the front passenger seat and told officers the mystery friend had the keys. But police became suspicious of the claims when, after a 20-minute search for the keys, Katie complained of being cold and the heater allegedly suddenly started up. This was a function that could only be done with the car keys, prosecutor Sonia Saul said. Price then handed over the key and struggled to find her shoes before being put into the police van, it was claimed. Katie denied both charges, giving evidence. The mother of 5 said the case had caused tension with her relationship with Chris Boyson and he was not helping her at all by refusing to identify the mystery driver. She told the court she was changing into her pajamas in the back of the car and was wearing no socks, no shoes, no knickers when police hauled her into the police van. Giving evidence about Boyson refusing to give the name, she told the court, "He won't give me the name. He says it's not necessary." Sonia Saul, prosecuting, said, "Is he aware giving the name of the driver could mean that these proceedings against you could change?" Price replied, "Exactly, that's why it's stressful. Chris knows him. He hasn't even come here to support me today. He's not helping me at all." She claims her relationship with Chris Boyson is on the rocks. She described the mystery driver as having dark hair and was around the same height and build as Boyson. Delivering his verdict, Judge Dean said, "There's no statutory definition of being in charge of a motor vehicle. It's a matter of fact and degree. I have no hesitation in finding on the facts set out in this case Miss Price was in charge of the motor vehicle." Miss Price told police after that she has consumed about 4 porn star martinis at the restaurant in Bexley Heath where she arrived at about 8:30 p.m. in the evening and remained until closing time. In essence, she says she made a last-minute decision to accept a long-standing invitation to attend her friend Chris's 30th birthday party at a Turkish restaurant in Bexley Heath. She hadn't addressed in her mind then how she was going to travel home. She wasn't particularly concerned as she has an insurance policy in place to allow anybody under the age of 30 to drive with her permission. She was asked by me whether she knew about the state of alcohol consumed of the stranger she allowed to drive her Range Rover that evening. She said she wouldn't have allowed him to drive if he had been drinking. When an officer asked her in interview, "Do you know if he had been drinking or not? You said, I couldn't even tell you who was drinking and who wasn't." She accepts that her vehicle appears to have been involved in some sort of road traffic incident that evening. It was particularly obvious in the way the vehicle was parked and obviously damaged to the police officers. When Miss Price was asked about that in her interview under caution, she denied being aware of any incident taking place. Indeed, that's the aspect of her evidence today which she has glossed over. She accepts the damage wasn't there prior to that evening, but that it was visible when she was shown damage in police photographs the next day. I didn't find her evidence in that regard to be credible either. She knows a lot more about the circumstances in which her valuable car was involved in a collision than she would have the court believe. I do not conclude I have any degree of confidence to those various matters. I have no hesitation in finding this matter proved.